Please bet on football games.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Please Bet on Football Games podcast. I'm your host Alex, here with the on-air talent Joe. Joe, how's it going?
Field goals, they're not possible anymore. Nobody can do them. We need to stop.
What? Insane week of football. Didn't go great for us.
No. It's worse because the pod picks lost, the Patreon just so barely lost, but I profited personally this week. But I also didn't profit big, so I'm mad because I should have profited big. I feel guilty because I always like to do worse than the picks I'm giving out, you know? So it's lose, lose, lose.
Yeah, when you told me you bought out on LA on the money line, I was like, you're a genius.
I didn't even do it on purpose. ESPN Bet automatically does it if you're up 3 touchdowns. So when they were up 19, ESPN Bet just automatically cashed out my bet.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And as soon as I got it, I was like, is this a glitch? And I looked into it and it's a thing they do. And I was like, I have a feeling that this could be really good for me. And then suddenly everything went wrong. So it was really good for me.
Do they just take an absolute bath on all of the money line bets for that game?
I fucking
They have
guess.
to pay out the people that took Philly.
Well, and that's the weird thing is it doesn't work for spread bets, just money line. I guess they're just banking on nobody's going to take big dogs and then be up multiple touchdowns when they're on a dog.
I
But
guess.
still, that's just a crazy bad business model. They must really be hurting for business. Whatever.
It's impossible. Either way, let's get into the numbers.
Do it.
We ended up making 8.5 units worth of bets because we did add in that Washington bet because we got the number and Mariota played. So we wagered 8.5 units. We lost 1.69 units.
Weak.
We won 28.6% of our bets this week.
Yeah, that's a bad week. And it's crazy because our handicaps weren't bad. We'll go through it, but I think we deserve to lose 2 of these bets.
Yeah, I mean, there's one obvious one, but for clarity's sake, we are up 5.37 units on the year still. So not all is lost, but let's talk about some of those bets.
All right, first one. Let's start with Washington.
Yeah. We had Washington -3. We got that number. Mariota played. So that was a 2-unit bet. It wasn't a contest bet, but we're still counting it because we explicitly laid out the terms. That was an even odds bet. So that was a +2-unit bet. Washington absolutely crushed the Raiders. Mariota looked great.
Yeah, it's 3 starts for Mariota, all 3 with the Commanders, that is. All 3 are A pluses. That's crazy. And Commanders fans it's because he played the Panthers and the Cowboys. Well, first of all, an A plus is an A plus is an A plus. Second of all, because the way I grade, it eliminates the outside factors, right? You eliminate to the extent humanly possible the defense's caliber, whether or not guys are getting open, by grading the actual play on the field. Was the quarterback pressured? Was there somebody open? How many reads did he have to get through in his progression? How accurate was the throw? If you're doing all that and getting into the particulars, you don't have to worry about the surrounding details and the nuance because you're engaging in an even more nuanced analysis, right? I don't need to know that 50% of the time this coin lands heads when I flip the coin and I can look at it and be like, oh yeah, it's heads. It doesn't matter what the probability is. I'm looking at the fucking result. So I've already deplatformed us. Now we can really start the pod. But yeah, Marcus Mariota was incredible against the Panthers last year. After Jaden Daniels completely sucked in the first half against the Cowboys last year. Mariota came in and saved the day, led a big comeback, made me a lot of money. And once again, Marcus Mariota starts against the Raiders, who, they're not a terrible defense. They're a below average defense. And he lit them the fuck up yet again. So, 3 for 3 betting on Mariota. I'm praying to Christ we get him against Atlanta this weekend, but I don't think we will.
Yeah, I don't think we will either, but bet on Mariota in well-schemed systems. He's gonna do great.
Yeah, like
Because
literally just always bet on Mariota if he plays. He's the most underrated quarterback in the league right now.
yeah, and I agree with you on Mariota. I mean, I think a lot of the injuries and being in those horrible systems in Tennessee are what kind of caught up to him. But when he's healthy and in a good spot, I think he's incredible. The
Well,
My only like kind of pushback on your grading system, eliminating the caliber of defense, is that some guys operate systems really well.
yeah,
And when the system is working well, they'll look good. And then once they play a good defense or are in a game where it's not clean, then they can kind of fall apart. So like those results will still bear out, but I think it can give like a false sense of competency if a guy's like a pure game manager. Like I mean how we always talk about scheme fades in the playoffs. And so, like, if a guy is scheme dependent, those numbers could get inflated when he's not playing good defenses, where then he might look like shit when he actually does play a strong team. But I don't think that's the case with Mariota. I just think that is one thing where, like, there is still some context that gets missed.
yeah, that's fair.
Either way, uh,
Great bet. Would do it again. Praying we are allowed to do it again this weekend.
exactly. Uh, Good win. Really helped stop us from having a truly disastrous week. And on that note, let's talk about some of those disastrous games. First up, we had the Cincinnati Bengals over the Minnesota Vikings. That was a +3 1 unit bet. We lost 1 unit. The Vikings absolutely destroyed the Bengals.
Yeah, and I'm of two minds. I don't know that I would make this bet again next week, but I also think that the score was dramatically misleading, right? Because like
Yeah.
Jake Browning throws a 90-yard pick six, about to enter the end zone and take the lead, turns into a pick six. Couple drives later, a fumble at like the plus 15-yard line, so in the red zone. Fumble, recovered, returned for six. So there's 14 points for the Vikings that probably should have been at minimum 6 points for the Bengals and quite possibly as many as 14. If you swing that 28 points, this game looks dramatically different. But you can't do that. And then there's also the problem of like when you have two defensive touchdowns go against you in such dramatic fashion in the first half, who knows what the second half would have looked like, because there's a world where, if Cincinnati's not so demoralized, maybe they put up a better fight. But also if Minnesota isn't like coasting and just trying to ride this thing out, maybe they pull away even further anyway. So I don't know that I learned much of anything about either team. I guess I learned that like Isaiah Rodgers is occasionally capable of just taking the ball away and scoring, an entire fantasy football week's worth of wide receiver one production by himself. But this bet is weird. I'm not ashamed of it. I probably would consider making it again, but frankly, I don't know anything more today than I did last week.
Yeah, what I took from this game is I don't know what to make of either of these teams. Like the Vikings got a couple of guys back last week,
Well,
and
Darisaw coming back did totally change their offensive line.
and that's what I was going to bring up of like, is that their line is fixed? Was that just kind of like a temporary boost? Was it that Wentz was in? Was it that the team just feels more comfortable with, not a 22-year-old, essentially a rookie back behind them?
I mean, Wentz did nothing. It was
Yeah, I mean, he
the
didn't, but
the
it's
thing
the
that changed.
perception is reality type thing of, Wentz is not not highly regarded anymore, but I'm sure guys on the team are still like, oh, well, this is a guy that had basically an MVP season.
half of their points were scored by Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah, I know,
No,
but
I
like,
but what I noticed very, very quickly was when Darisaw's back, they're like, "Oh, cool. We could just eliminate one of the defensive linemen and we could double everybody else. And God
yeah,
forbid we max protect, so we can have two offensive linemen on each other defensive lineman and or a running back to help. And it opens up the pocket so much. Additionally, um, there seemed to be a better sense of cohesion just because like the backup center who played had more reps. You know, Wentz was calling out the protections instead of the backup center because they never intended to have the backup center call out protections anyway. So it was a lot of chaos getting kind of made calm on the offensive line, and I think it helped them tremendously. Also, because Aaron Jones was hurt, they didn't waste a bunch of downs by just giving him mandatory touches that turn into nothing. That helped too. Did I
yeah.
say did I say Alex Jones?
No, I think you said Aaron Jones.
Okay, good. Because there was no lizard people. Should a quote bucket be Alex Jones quotes?
I don't know if you can do that.
I don't know if I want to do that. We did
I
Buss.
know you've got a big bucket of them ready to go at any point from your constant Alex Jones listenership, but
I'm not gonna lie. You know that post about like fucking Magellan and Justin Bieber. It gets me fired up. I actually like Justin Bieber because he's Canadian and plays hockey, but the clip goes hard.
I mean he's an absolute insane
But
person.
is he an enthusiastic one?
Exactly, but
That's all we need.
sometimes when you're that level of crazy, you're entertaining as hell, as we've talked about a lot this week.
Yes, we have. Whoa, look at this. Look at this broadcasting 203 right here. Speaking of crazy and entertaining, the goddamn Philadelphia Birds.
All right, this was our best bet of the week. We had the LA Rams over the Philadelphia Eagles. We had one unit on the money line and one unit on the +3 spread. We lost both those units in absolutely crushing fashion. We lost the money line when last second kick got blocked, and then we lost the spread when Jordan Davis ran it all the way back for a touchdown. Really, really crushing. Rams had two field goals blocked and blew a 19-point lead.
Why are you booing me? I'm right. Martin Luther King Jr. in that meme of Martin Luther King Jr.
I thought it was Jesus.
It's absolutely Hannibal Buress.
Oh, I'm thinking a different one. Go ahead.
When I was little, I thought a Hannibal was an evil person that didn't eat people but was almost as bad. This game was about that bad. The Rams, like you said, they missed two field goals, so they lost by 8. 6 of those points came off a field goal block, so they should have lost by 2. But actually, the Rams missed 2 field goals, so they should have won by 4. And they turned the ball over on 4th down twice, so they probably should have won by 10. And they settled for field goals instead of touchdowns 4 times. So let's just add another 6 for the fuck of it. They should have won this game by 16 points. They absolutely fucking dominated. The goddamn... I love the Birdwatcher. I cherish his friendship. He's one of my favorite people. I wanted to fucking choke him to death.
I could tell.
I was so mad, and I knew while we were texting, like, I'm mad at him, and he's done nothing wrong. He hasn't even bragged. He hasn't even talked shit. But I need to kill him. And this is my formal apology, my dear friend, the Birdwatcher. Fuck, man. I mean, I was counting my money. I was up 19 grand this week.
They literally paid you out at halftime.
One of the bets literally paid me out at halftime. And I was like, well, even if they missed this, I literally said, because my little sister was over for the weekend. I literally turned to her, I said, even if they miss this fucking kick, I'm still going to be up 14 grand on the weekend already. And it's only the early time slot. I got time to get a lot of. I'm gonna make a killing this week. And she said, "Well, don't count your chickens now." And she was fucking right because I thought Jordan Davis was supposed to be fat. Everybody on Twitter told me he's fat and he's actually not good because he's fat. And I was like, no, he's not fat. He's just, that's his game. He does his job. He fills his role. Turns out he's not that fucking fat. Runs faster than Derek fucking Henry, apparently. And while I saw the Rams chasing him back, for that millisecond, I was like, oh, maybe they get him. And then immediately I was like, no, those guys are also fat. And even if they could catch him, they don't care because they just lost one way or another. They're going to stop jogging. And they did.
Yeah.
I would make this bet again, and in fact, I would place a larger. I'd bet 3 units if this game were held tomorrow.
Yeah, I wish they played again this week.
Matt Stafford didn't even play well. He played poorly, and they still dominated.
I mean, they couldn't do a thing in the second half. The Eagles were just spamming AJ Brown, and it was working. Well,
And it was literally, oh, Emmanuel Forbes on AJ Brown, throw the curl. That weak bitch won't do anything about it, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And it was to the point where the Rams knew it. Like, I'm making the same fucking bet again every goddamn time.
Yeah.
And no, this does not prove that Jalen Hurts can throw the ball when he wants to. No, he was not good at throwing the ball at any point, even in a blowout. Jalen Hurts is bad. This game did nothing other than confirm Jalen Hurts is, in fact, bad at football. Listening to Pardon My Take was excruciating because that fat fucking Eagles fan was just, this person, Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. No, you're a fucking stupid piece of shit. I've never thought
No
less
free
of a
ads,
man.
man. No free ads.
I've never thought less of a human.
Yeah, I know. As soon as that happened, then like I saw him on my Twitter feed, I was like, oh, I'm upset that he's happy.
I like the guy. He entertains me. Not when he talks about football.
So the
On their football podcast. Yikes.
what we're taking away from this is we've learned nothing. Nothing has changed. Go Rams.
I'll fucking do it again, too. I'm
But
speaking in memes
regardless,
today.
lost 2 units on that one. Onto our other win of the week. We had 1 unit on Jacksonville over Houston. That was a -1 bet. Odds were bad, so we won 0.81 units.
Verbal meme. I'm gonna hit so many verbal memes in this fucking segment. It's Romeo Crennel. No, it's not. It's Denny Green. And he's the coach of the Cardinals. I legitimately thought it was Romeo Crennel until like 8 years ago. Like my entire childhood, I thought it was Romeo Crennel.
Romeo Crennel doesn't have that kind of fire. He's too sweet.
Yeah, I'd never heard Romeo Crennel speak. I thought they were the same guy. I was 10 when that happened. I was like, oh, black coach, it's not Levy Smith, it's Romeo Crennel. I was 10. I didn't know. Anyway, Denny Green. We are who they thought they were. CJ Stroud is who I fucking thought he was. Instead of crowning them, crown me. Because even you, to some extent, after his rookie year, were like, you got to give it up to him. He's better than I thought he'd be. He's legitimately pretty decent, maybe even pretty good. And he's not. He's fucking terrible. He's just as bad as I thought he would be. He might even be worse. And there was one fucking person on this planet who said it at the time, and nobody's ever going to give me any flowers. But at least I get to make some fucking money.
Yeah, he's bad. Unfortunately, Trevor Lawrence is also bad. But this one worked out for us.
Oh, yeah, no, Trevor Lawrence is terrible, and maybe he shouldn't start. I really thought that he would blossom like rapidly under Liam Cohen, but he just makes too many fucking boneheaded mistakes. Also, John Mateer is getting hand surgery and will miss most of the season.
That doesn't. Do you think he's that good?
The Oklahoma quarterback?
Yeah.
No, I like him a lot as a guy. He says all the cool things. He looks cool. He has a lot of athleticism and arm talent. He can't hit the side of a fucking county.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched him a lot, but he has not really impressed me. Like the tools look like they're there, but he can't play quarterback.
Take Johnny Manziel, give him 1 inch lifts, give him a really strong arm. Don't change anything else. That's it. Inaccurate, stupid. That's it. I mean, those are the two things, but like those are like two of the four things that matter. So
Yeah, that's tough. Either way, would you make this bet again?
I'd make this bet again. However, I loved this bet because I liked Trevor Lawrence. Not Trevor Lawrence. I liked the Jaguars. I thought Liam Cohen, and I still think Liam Cohen's a great coach. I just don't think Trevor Lawrence is enough. I think
Yeah.
he's a C minus quarterback. I also think that Brian Thomas Jr. is a fucking fraud. Um, he can't catch anything. He can't catch a cold. He can't catch COVID in the winter of 2021. He can't catch venereal disease at Arizona State. He can't catch.
Which is weird because he was really good last year.
I think that he has some Willie Mays Hayes shit going on where he wasn't expected to be a star, rapidly became a star, and then totally changed up on us immediately. Because a lot of what made him great last year is big, strong, physical dude willing to go over the middle, physical body. And this year, he refuses to get hit or go into traffic.
As a major league aficionado, I think that's more of a Rick Vaughn story.
I only know Willie Mays Hayes came in his second year and was like, I don't steal bases no more. I did steroids and now I hit home runs.
He did.
And was a different actor,
It was a different actor.
which made the steroids part way easier.
Yeah. But Rick Vaughn was the one that really changed up on him. He was wearing suits and living in his penthouse apartment, dating a very hot business focused woman. He changed up the most.
I legitimately don't remember that plot line at all.
I mean, the second one's terrible. The first one is an absolute beauty of filmmaking.
Charlie Sheen put ice cubes in his butthole to stay awake when he didn't have crack. Let's go to San Diego.
We had the Chargers over the Broncos -3. That was a 1 unit bet that pushed. No win, no loss. 0.
Bad fucking luck. Again, another game. Like the Chargers pretty much dominated the game. They won by 3, so we were at least directionally right. We even got a bad line. Remember, we could have taken -2.5 and decided to take 3 because I don't give a fuck about that half point. It's going to be a blowout. And I should have given a fuck about that half point. We would have been dead even if I would have given a fuck about that half point.
Yeah, it would have helped. I mean, I think we had the right read on it. I think
Totally.
it's just that we really should have got that half point because division game, good defense with Denver. It's probably going to be close.
But when they play again, I'll bet on San Diego again.
Yeah, agree. Well, let's
West
close
Coast.
it out with a couple more losses. We
Hell
had
yeah.
the San Francisco 49ers over the Arizona Cardinals at -2.5. That was a 1 unit bet. We lost a unit.
Frustrating, but probably just.
Yeah.
Frustrating because they won. Frustrating because the reason they didn't cover is a penalty-induced safety.
Yeah.
And even more frustrating because the drive before, Kyler Murray illegally grounded the ball out of the end zone and they charged the foul at the 1 yard line instead of a safety. I don't know. Both of his feet were inside the end zone. Part of the ball was still inside the end zone, but they called it outside the end zone. I don't know how that works. It feels like number one bullshit, so I'll say it is. So yeah, that was frustrating, but at the same time, like Marvin Harrison dropped an easy 70-yard touchdown.
hmm
You know, although I guess the Cardinals did get bailed out on a bullshit pass interference, but the only reason that the pass interference mattered is because Marvin Harrison dropped another touchdown. Is Marvin Harrison on PCP?
I don't know, man. I mean, like that was never gonna be like a good offense for him.
But catching the ball is supposed to be his thing.
Right, but like that doesn't excuse why now he just can't catch the ball. Um, I don't know. I mean, I still feel like he's really, really good and he's just got to figure some things out. But I don't know. Still waiting for him to be great.
Probably shouldn't have made this bet, but I don't know. Like in the future, it's not that I would bet the other side, it's just that I wouldn't bet it.
Yeah, I mean, and remember, we didn't really like most of these bets.
Mm-mm.
Like
Mm-mm.
realistically, if like we would have bet on LA, we would have bet on Washington and probably Cincy.
And Jacksonville.
Yeah, but
I
such
didn't
is life.
I don't like laying 3 with the Chargers because of Jim Harbaugh, and oh look, there it is.
Yep. But that's the game. On to our bonus bet. We had the Baltimore Ravens over the Detroit Lions at -4.5. That was a half unit bet. We lost that half unit.
Who am I more mad at? So there's Lamar Jackson, who played an okay-ish, slightly below average game. Weirdly, he's good as a runner because he's Lamar. He always is.
Right?
He was actually pretty good as a passer. Not great, but pretty good.
Yeah.
The problem is just that he was so terrible at every other little part of playing the game that it all mounted and probably cost them 10, 12 points. The terrible sacks. I mean, I think he took 5 sacks that I blamed him for last night. Whether they were, he decided to run and lost yardage, or he just straight up created a sack where it shouldn't have been. He fumbled. He threw a ball directly at the defenders. It dropped it again. Lamar has got to lead the league in dropped interceptions since C.J. Stroud's rookie year when he had every interception dropped. C.J. Stroud had 12 dropped interceptions his rookie year. Crazy.
Yeah, they haven't been getting dropped much the last couple of years.
No, since then they've been caught often. Um, but yeah, no. So Lamar was below average. Whatever. You should be able to win a game with below average quarterback play. Derrick Henry can't stop fumbling and generally just kind of sucks. But that's fine. You can win a game without a great running back if you have an MVP quarterback. Even if the quarterback's not playing that well, like there are things you can do. You can't win a game when your extremely talent saturated defense is a fucking sieve.
Yeah, they cannot get off the field.
Their defensive line, I might do a full scale hockey line change. I might say, all 4 of you starters, sit the fuck down. You're done.
Yeah. I mean, no Metabuike obviously hurts them, but still.
The focal point of the Baltimore defense, as exemplified by Jesse Minter in San Diego and Mike McDonald over in Seattle, is we're just gonna have big fucking bodies and you can't run on us. Everybody can run on the Ravens right now at will. So handicap was just wrong. Also, I don't know if it's this Morton guy. I don't know if it's Dan Campbell all along. It might be time to give Detroit's play caller or play designer or whoever the fuck it is some real flowers. And it also might be time to question, did we jump the shark on Ben Johnson? Is it possible that he wasn't the offensive guy? Now, the Bears' offense looked great, but there has been a noticeable lack of trick plays, play action, the things that made the Lions' offense so amazing. It's not all showing up with the Bears, and I'm sure a lot of it is just that the Bears aren't yet cohesive enough to actually run their full playbook because they're full of young dudes and dumb dudes, and it's new. But for the first time, there is a tiny inkling of pause inside of me about Ben Johnson, and there is a spark of hope about Detroit. Because we knew Detroit would have a great offensive line and great running backs and incredible receivers. We knew their quarterback would be below average. We didn't know what their play calling would be. And if it's bad, like it was week 1, they're fucked. But if it's okay or better, there's too much talent for them to not be a good team.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Ben Johnson, I think, they played 3 games. I'm
I'm
not going
still
to
I'm
make
still at
any.
97% confidence in Ben Johnson, for the
Yeah,
record.
I'm not worried about it at all. Now, like, if you're towards the end of the year and the offense still looks the same, then yeah, I think you can start getting actually somewhat worried. But it's a young quarterback. It's a team with a lot of new guys. It's a new offense. I think to a certain extent, like you have to establish what your offense is supposed to look like before you can really start like incorporating those trick plays because you've got to like kind of like mesh them together with your regular offense so that they
Yeah.
actually trick the other team.
Well,
And so
also
like
just order of operations. You're not going to teach the tough shit until you've mastered the easy shit, and they're having a
yeah,
hard enough time with that.
right. And like even last week, you started to see a little bit of it. Like they had that flea flicker that came out that was perfect.
I always think that the flea flicker is like it, it's the fake trick play. Like it's the old man's idea of innovative.
Yeah, it's like the classic, but kind of left in the past now, but still a classic that you
It,
can appreciate.
you know what it is? It's like our parents being like, "Oh, I'm high tech. I'm on Facebook every day." It's like, buddy, that's not what the Zoomers are currently saying is it's like those old heads who think they're on social media because they use Twitter.
Yeah.
Pour one out for my entire youth. It's
How
gone
it
and
goes, man. The years pass and then you're the old guy
I
complaining
spent
about the young people.
well, luckily I've been doing this since I was about 12, so I've got lots of practice. But okay, last week sucked. The picks were awful, the slate was awful, and we lost, right? This week also sucks. This week is almost a carbon copy of last week, down to the fact that we will be betting against the Eagles yet again.
Which this is just a thing I want to say for the listeners of when it's a bad week, don't tail all of the picks.
No, always tail all the picks. The problem, if they don't bet all the bets, is that they're going to pick wrong, and then they're going to lose, and they're going to say, I tailed your picks and I lost. And we're going to be like, well, it's not our fucking problem. We finished up a unit because we know how to do bet sizing and we know the games. You don't know how to pick the games, even when we tell you the games to pick from. So if they bet all of our bets, we are pretty sure that at the end of the year they'll be profitable. But if they nitpick and they pick and choose, we lose all control. And I don't want that on my fucking like people were bitching at me today or this past week. Like I only bet on these 2 bets because they were your 2 favorite and I lost. And it's like, well, there's a reason I made the other 4. So
I don't know though, but like when we're giving out these picks and like we're at the end of the card and we're giving them San Francisco and the Chargers with numbers we don't really like or situations we don't really like, it's like, I don't know. And those ones didn't make us any money.
yeah, but sometimes I really love the Rams and that loses.
No, I mean that's fair, but I feel like our best bets are typically our do the best compared to like our number 4 and 5 bets. And so like if we're sitting there like we only really want to bet on 3 of these, I don't think they should be like, ooh, let's also include 4 and 5. Like I see what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like if you bet on all of us and then the 3 we don't really like all lose, then they end up losing money on the week. But then do what you want to do. Bet on all of them, bet on one of them, bet on none of them.
How about
Well,
this? How about this disclaimer? If you don't bet all the bets for the amounts we tell you to, I can't feel bad or give a fuck that you lost money, but I will take all the credit if you make money. Fair?
yeah, absolutely. I think
That's
that's
not even that's not even unscrupulous. That's not even shisty. I told you what to do. You didn't fucking listen to me. It's not my problem if it fails.
fair enough.
Fair enough.
Well,
All right.
you want to start talking week 4?
Yeah, but it's hard to put together a quote bucket when I'm also trying to. All right,
Well,
I've got 5 quotes. I'm not going to get through that in the first game, right?
I don't think so, but you can keep going.
Also, it's going to be really hard to make these funny. They're just going to sound like a May 4th themed podcast.
That's fine. It is the 4th week.
Fuck. All right, I'm back in. Let's do it. Thursday night.
Kicking off week 4 on Thursday night, we have the Seattle Seahawks going to play the Arizona Cardinals. The Seahawks are -1.5.
Now that's something to think about. Oh, sorry. I'm embarrassed. I didn't accidentally mean to show you that Marcus Mariota is objectively fucking incredible. Uh, wait,
You just always have that one up.
is Jaden Daniels a 90 passer according to PFF? There's no way, right? Why would a lesser player put up great stats on a team when a better player at the same position can't even do? Oh, no.
Well, they obviously changed the offense for him. They make
Of
it
course.
easier.
In the
Um,
3 days they knew that Marcus Mariota is going to play, they changed everything. They downloaded all the good plays from ChatGPT, and they got rid of the bad ones.
and they don't normally run those plays with the starter because they intentionally like making it harder on the starter, so it feels like he earns it more.
Yes. I can't figure out how to get to the games, so I guess we're just gonna have to do like this. Oh, look at us. We did it.
Is it because you're on the wrong one? Oh, I see what you're trying to find. Thought you were looking for numbers. I was like, that's the wrong site, Joe.
No, we have the numbers. It's Seahawks -1.5.
Right.
Do you have a feel for this game?
My gut says Seahawks just because I think they're a better team.
Agreed.
But I'm trying to think of the matchup of you've got Kyler who can't throw over the middle, but can escape like crazy. And you've got a giant defensive line that's not super athletic.
Yeah, it's true.
And
I mean, they're
the
athletic, but they're not
middles,
fast.
right. They're
They're all
strong
defensive
and
tackles.
athletic more than fast and athletic.
They're really fast for being all defensive tackles.
Right, but it's still for defensive tackles. So, but like the middle's already not really that much of a concern. And if they start getting after him, Kyler's just going to be able to bail. But I don't know. I think the Seattle defense is pretty good. I think that they'll be able to confuse Kyler a little bit.
Certainly.
McDonald's going to scheme him up. It's just going to be containing him. I think, the bigger issue is just can Sam Darnold keep doing it?
Sam Darnold isn't doing anything. So this is fun. This is fun. We're gonna
He's
flip
had
to
some
the other
nice
side.
throws.
Look at this. Sam Darnold's the #1 quarterback in the NFL according to PFF. Would you like to guess how many true dropbacks he had last week against the Saints? Like taking away screens, play action, gimmick plays.
How many total dropbacks did he have? I don't know if you have that number. You know what?
I
It doesn't matter. We'll go 9.
8.
8 was my first thought, but then my second thought was 11, and so I kind of split the difference and went with
It's
9.
it is 8, and if you want to be a dick, you can get down to 6 or 7. Because like he had 8 dropbacks. That doesn't mean like times he threw the ball down the field. That means just like not play fakes or screens. So a lot of these were like, oh, it's not a screen, it's a 3-yard hitch. It's like, okay, well that's fucking kind of a screen. Yeah, this offense is just running the ball. It's just running the ball. And you can kind of do that. You can kind of do anything against the Cardinals defense. And frankly, the Cardinals offense can't really do much. I kind of am looking for reasons not to bet the Seahawks, and I'm not finding them.
Yeah, I mean it's a division game, but we're at 1.5, so I don't
The
think
spread
that
doesn't
matters
matter. You
too
just pick the
much.
winner.
And I mean the Cardinals, because they still confuse me a little bit, because sometimes they look like a terrible team, like I kind of expect them to, but then sometimes they look actually somewhat competent. Calais Campbell is eternal and has been making big plays all year. But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm trying to come up with reasons where I think the Cardinals win this game. I guess, like, maybe if Marvin Harrison remembers how to catch.
He's still got to go up against Tariq Woolen, who's probably look. Tariq Woolen certainly has the worst ball skills of any defensive back in the league, the worst. But
Right.
he also might be the best at actually staying in phase and being around the receiver.
Yeah, he's
And
great at
it's
that.
and it's not like Marvin Harrison has proven that he can be relied upon to go get the ball.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's where it's like kind of the question because Marvin Harrison, everything we saw in college was that that's what he was. Like, he wasn't
some
always going to get crazy separation, but if you threw it in his vicinity, he was going to go up and get it.
something has
And
to have happened because he's not even a shell of the man that he was.
yeah, and so that's where, and like, we have his athletic testing and numbers. Like, it's not like he's super slow and just like can't keep up athletically. Like, it's concentration stuff and it's things we've seen him do before, which is kind of why I'm just like waiting for him to have a big week and it kind of like clicks for him. And, theoretically, he's a great matchup for Tariq Woolen because he doesn't need to separate. He just needs to, get a somewhat accurate ball and go up and bowl it. So, like, I guess that's my how do we lose this is does Marvin Harrison remember who he is and make some big plays? Because, like, I don't think the Seahawks are going to put up 30 points just because I think they run the ball too much that it's just hard to score that much unless they're scoring on every drive, and they're not going to.
Yeah.
So like I don't think the Cardinals need to, have a bunch of like super productive drives. Like they just need a couple big plays to stay in it. But at 1.5, it feels like we kind of have to. Like we think the Seahawks are a better team.
In
They
every which way.
yeah, they've been playing better on top of just we like their roster and coaching more. I guess it's, Thursday night, so weird shit happens. But again, it's 1.5.
1.5. You just pick the winner. I mean, like it's look. I don't. Yeah, come on. I've looked at the slate. It's a bad fucking slate. This one's gonna make it.
Yeah, one
There's
unit.
nothing else to talk about.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, cha-ching. Like I think the Cardinals roster kind of sucks, and I think the reason they're 2-1 is because they played dog shit teams.
Yeah, it absolutely helps.
I mean, fuck, they could barely fucking move the ball on the 49ers without Nick Bosa. Get real. Next game.
On to Sunday, kicking off the 12 o'clock hour.
Nope.
Oh, we got
Damn.
where are we? Are we London? Are we Germany?
Maybe Ireland?
Ireland?
They're playing two games in the British area for the
Because
next
I
two
think
weeks. Where
I
the fuck
think
is
next
Croke Park? Is that you Spuds?
it sounds like it.
Croke Park does sound like some Spud shit.
Yep, in
Dublin,
Dublin.
Ireland. Look at us being racist.
It's the national headquarters of the Gaelic Athletic Association.
I'm so glad that you ended that sentence the way you did. Football. Oh, I forgot to check the line.
In Ireland, kicking off the 8:30 game, we have the Minnesota Vikings going to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. I guess they're all going to play. The Vikings are -2.5.
I feel like because you're a You should take the lead on this game.
You know what? You actually cut out with whatever slur you just said, so
Oh,
it was pretty fitting.
I'm quite aware.
That was really smooth. You really did that well. That
I
was a quick mute.
I was uncomfortable saying that in the sanctity of my own office. And there's a
Um,
lot more where that came from.
you're getting too big for your britches now. All right. Vikings playing, even though none of my actually I do have a cousin that lives near Dublin. Um,
You've doxed yourself. Now they all know.
yeah, like there aren't that many of us in the US that have family in
Yeah,
Ireland.
it's true. You are quite invasive. Oh my goodness. So a large part of Alex and I's relationship is that I say incredibly racist things about Irish people, and then he knows that deep down a small piece of me is actually secretly Irish, and I like to ignore it.
And I don't care because we won. We spread. We took over. How many of these coaches we're about to talk about this week have Irish last names? Half?
Oh, I just realized the implication of you, an Irish, telling me, a native, that you won. You so incredibly did. How many of us are there? A lot fucking more than we got, buddy.
More than there are in Ireland.
Oh, be still, my little red heart.
The Minnesota
Fuck.
Vikings.
You've devastated me. Okay, so
I lean Vikings. There's my
do
my
you?
Spud read.
I don't know what to make of either of these teams. So
I don't either, but we got Kevin O'Connell in Dublin.
you don't think that Mike Tomlin could be Black Irish?
If that's is Tomlin an Irish last name, it sounds like it could be, but I don't know
We're
if
gonna
that.
learn today. English.
Ugh, you got the English invading,
Wait, it is also found in Ireland as an anglicized form of a Gaelic surname,
Anglicized.
anglicized. I was thinking the Anglican Church. Yeah, so
Yeah,
not
by
only is
English and Scottish settlers. You've got a settler trying to basically the Steelers are trying to kick off the Troubles Part 3, and our noble cock is trying to fight for his people.
we don't like cock anymore.
We don't,
We
but
like women.
Ireland cock? What about Irish cock?
Notoriously soft, never functions. Fuck, we haven't even gotten into quote bucket and I'm already getting myself into trouble. Um,
Yeah, Joe,
hold
this
on.
is
Hold
purely a
on, we're having a
joke.
technical issue. Slight weapons malfunction. Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're fine. Thank you. How are you? I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. Um, Sorry, we actually had to pause because aside from getting a quote bucket in, I legitimately couldn't handle the last name of one of these players. Um, Speaking of weapons malfunctions, remember when the Vikings just had to trade for Adam Thielen until Jordan Addison came back and they gave up a mid-round pick to do it, and now Jordan Addison's back and Adam Thielen hasn't put his shoes on? He's the seventh worst ranked wide receiver in the entire NFL. He's literally done nothing at all. I'm sure glad they don't have a fourth round pick now. Um, the Vikings' entire offensive line is back, basically. They're missing Donovan Jackson, left guard out of Ohio State. He's been really bad. Like, I like him. I think he's a good player. I think he could even play tackle in the NFL. He's been, puh. So I don't think that the downgrade to Brandel is anything substantial. I knew it was Blake. Um, hey, Alex, where is this game played again?
Dublin.
Can you read me the next quote on the bucket?
I don't know how I feel about now how you just command me to read these
This
quotes.
one is not nearly as clever as last time, but it is appropriate. Fine, I'll say it. You'll never
You'll
find a
never
more
find a
wretched
more
hive
wretched
of
hive
scum
of
and
scum
villainy.
and villainy.
We just churched that bitch.
There was some harmony there. The end we got a little loose, but
We're also on Zoom, so for all we know, we're 2 full seconds offset.
yeah.
Um, Everybody's always like, Joe, you cut off Alex every time he speaks. I'm like, I don't know I'm doing it. I think I'm letting him finish. Sometimes. Also, a lot of the time, I'm cutting him off. I'm the on-air talent. Um,
We know our roles.
I kind of am with you. It's like, okay, so I'm of two minds. One mind, the Steelers do indeed suck. Aaron Rodgers is washed. He keeps on throwing balls directly at defensive backs' chests. Aaron Rodgers is employing the strategy where he throws so many balls at defenders that are so easily pickable that they're shocked they've been presented an opportunity this juicy. And then they drop the ball because they're like, fucking me? Why? Um, so that's an issue. The problem is I don't think Carson Wentz is any good.
Yes, I tend to agree.
So like you're gonna run the ball a lot, and that's not how you win games. Especially on bad, chopped up, shitty Irish fields, full of divots from where they dig up the potatoes before kickoff.
So I'd say those fields are actually probably lovely
They're actually
because they
probably
have to they have
way
to,
better than the NFL.
they have to fit soccer and hurley standards, which mean real grass.
What is that second word?
Hurley? You never heard of hurley?
The Velcro wallets that we all had in seventh grade?
Hurling. It's an insane sport. They
Mm.
basically have sticks with like kind of like paddles
And
on
they
the
gotta kind
end.
of bounce it up and like dribble it against gravity.
Yes, and but they can pass like lacrosse players. It's nuts, and they can like catch passes with paddles.
The things you guys can do when you're somewhat sober.
I think that game was exclusively made for drunk people because they could just run into each other all the time and be like, "Oh, nobody can catch the ball. There it goes. Time to beat the shit out of each other."
The reason they hurling was invented by people trying to play lacrosse, but they were so drunk they couldn't keep the ball in the basket anyway. So they're like, fuck it, just use a stick, bounce
Just
it,
use the sticks.
just as
They're easier
effective.
to beat each other with anyway.
Isaiah Rodgers is the highest graded cornerback in the NFL.
Well, I mean, how many defensive touchdowns does he have?
I mean, he got a 99.9 last week. It's the highest grade they've ever given out.
Because didn't he have two touchdowns and like on top of that another forced fumble?
Yeah. No, he had a pick six and a forced fumble turned into a fumble six. Like he's
Well, and I think he forced another fumble on top of that one that he returned.
okay, and you're thinking of betting on this team that had a cornerback worth more than Jamar Chase?
I mean, that's a good point. It's mostly that the
It can't
Steelers
happen.
are
Can't happen
bad
again.
and they're all old and they're about to get on a plane and go across the ocean and have to try and sleep in those tiny little homes that the Irish have.
They're all old. Can't take away their
These
home.
are
They're too
old
old.
guys.
Look at them. They're old. Um, fuck. I don't know if we do it today, but we gotta do a Happy Gilmore quote bucket.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Too bad we already started on Star Wars.
We've only done two. We can Happy Gilmore at the break. Absolutely. Um,
I
I
feel
want
like
to do
that
Happy Gilmore
deserves a
more.
full episode, though.
We can do five Happy Gilmores. I used to know every word to that movie, and I still kinda do. Um, man, I don't want to bet on this game. I really don't. I know it's a weak cop out, and I know it's an actionable game, and most of us are gonna watch it. I'll probably watch it on the plane back. No, I'll be home already. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's an actionable line, but
I don't trust fucking.
I,
I don't trust Kevin O'Connell anymore, and I don't trust Carson Wentz ever. So why would I
yeah,
bet on them?
no, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, my reasoning is that they're a team we liked coming into the year. They had some ups and downs. We had problems with how Cock is doing things, but we liked him. And then they had a good week last week. Sure, it was inflated, but they still had a good week against a team that,
Buddy, you know how much I fucking liked him? Look at the background of my picks. Every year, I take one team that I think is the most undervalued, and I make them the background of my fucking pick spreadsheet.
it's Vikings colors.
I don't want to bet on these Vikings anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. It's mine's mostly that we thought the Vikings were good. They've got some guys back that might have solved some of those problems and concerns we had. And the Steelers are bad and old. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be in like some hut in West Ireland all week.
There's something wrong with my spreadsheet. That's why. Fixed. Sorry. I feel like I'm a losing better this year and I'm having a terrible season and I'm actually having a very good season.
Hey, that's probably the way you want it to be compared to you're losing and feel like you're winning.
Never feel like you're winning. Ever. Back to the quote bucket. I we can come back to this game if we need to. I
Yeah,
don't want to
no,
bet on unpredictable shit in a foreign land,
no, that's super fair. It's
especially
an
one so
actual
decrepit and full
game,
of maggots.
and we have some things we care about, but also the Vikings are a bit of a wild card.
Besides, there will be other good games.
Into the 12 o'clock hour.
There is no 12 o'clock hour.
What are you talking about?
Neither of us live in the central time zone.
Uh, we discussed this on
Fuck, we
week
did. You're
one.
right. Yeah, I forgot the
What is
stipulation.
wrong with you? Why are you sniping at me?
You know exactly what's wrong with me. We're about to talk about the fucking birds.
First up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles are -3.5.
All right, so if you're a frequent listener of the podcast, you already know what we're going to do, but I don't know if we're going to do it, but you know we're going to do it. So let's just get there and say we're going to fucking do it.
Yeah, 3.5. Come on
Yeah,
now.
and of course, I'm putting half of it on the money line. But my concern is that there are no offensive linemen left. And now Mike Evans is doubtful. He hurt his hamstring. I mean, like, if the
My
Buccaneers are fully
counter
healthy,
is that Baker Mayfield is doing its best impression of Tom Brady.
no, actually, Baker Mayfield's super average. Do you see?
I mean, they still think he's good, just not
Barely.
elite, just not quite Sam Darnold.
Just not quite Kyler Murray. It's fucking hilarious how like we've cracked the code with PFF. Their grading system for quarterbacks is literally just how much of the fan base adores this quarterback. Buccaneers fans don't love Baker Mayfield that much, so his three big time throws and his 82% adjusted accuracy percentage, yeah, they don't matter. What matters is that one turnover worthy play, and then also fuck it, just you can't get a grade above an 85. It's not allowed. Um, yeah, Baker Mayfield's the best quarterback in the NFL. Again, Josh Allen's close, Justin Herbert's close, nobody else is close. But he's throwing to, oh fuck, Godwin and Wirfs are scheduled to be back.
That's big.
Getting
That's
both of them
huge.
is huge. Because Wirfs is going to have the effect of you can either kick Barton over to center where he's a good center, or you can even play him at right tackle and get Charlie Heck the fuck off the field. You like how I did that?
Nice.
I was going to say Heck twice, but then I didn't. I got more vulgar. And
I
I'm
mean, it's
not
all
that.
slot receivers, but it's a good one.
Every time we talk about how the Seahawks' entire defensive line is all defensive tackles, or the Buccaneers wide receiving core without Mike Evans is all slot receivers, I just think of oops, all berries, Captain Crunch. Oops, all small guys who aren't very fast and don't separate super well. But it doesn't matter because Baker Mayfield's accuracy has been ridiculous. The linebackers will be mitigated. So the Eagles' strength on defense is their linebackers. That'll be mitigated by the fact that the Buccaneers just don't throw to the tight end. Um, they run soft coverages, so I guess it's harder to throw deep, but the Buccaneers don't prefer to throw deep, especially without Mike Evans. Adoree Jackson cannot tackle, so that'll be nice. Emeka Ibuka will take advantage of him a little bit to the extent that he can. I don't actually fear the Eagles pass rush,
Right.
especially like on the outside. I a little bit fear that Carter and Davis are so good on the inside that they can tear shit up. But if you have Bredesen and Barton both moving back inside, I actually am not that worried. Okay. And you know what? That offensive line is enough. That's
Yeah, I think with
enough.
Wirfs back, it should be okay. Like there's still going to be blowups, but I don't think it's going to be game wrecking or where Baker is running for his life the whole time. I do worry that they're not going to be able to run that much and are going to still try to run all the time. But Baker's been Superman all year. So it's kind of like, why not?
Strong chance to play. Yeah, they're going to play. This was the
Yeah.
plan all along. They would have played them last week if they were playing a real team.
Yeah. I think the fact that they're playing the Eagles, they're 3-0, like they're coming out.
Eagles are riding high off of a totally undeserved win.
Absolutely.
Hassan Reddick revenge game
He's got a lot of revenge games at this point.
is the only real one. Dude, you know how much it's got to suck? You're a Philly kid, played at Temple, you're on the Eagles, you have a breakout season, you just want to get paid your bag. They won't pay you, so you force your way out, and then they win the Super Bowl without you.
They
I would
won
be,
one with him though, didn't they? Didn't they
no,
win the Foles one with him?
no. He
I
was
thought he
on
had
the
a big
Cardinals at the
play in
time.
that one. Oh, yeah,
I,
maybe you're right.
Hassan Reddick, 5 sacks. Servasia Dennis, straight to hell.
Hey, last week was a revenge game for Hassan Reddick too, though, according to Baker.
I think that's just Baker hating everything.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't want to seem as bitter. So he was like, "No, one of my teammates is upset too."
Yeah, I don't. I think Baker
Regardless,
just wanted to dick on Steve Wilkes and then did.
yes.
Okay, I actually, it'll be hard for the Buccaneers to run worse than they have run lately. Like literally running the ball. Especially because they actually have parts of their offensive line back. Like having Tristan Wirfs back is so huge
Yeah.
because if you run behind Tristan Wirfs, like yeah, you're going to get a push because he's on the left side. If you run away from Tristan Wirfs, he can do so much because he's so fucking athletic. You can pull him and wham him so easily. Um, so easy. I yeah, I'm sick of pretending like I need excuses to bet on the best quarterback in the league versus one of the most underrated or overrated teams in the league. Let us find the odds for the money line, and then we will be making this our best bet because that's just what I do.
We can do the same thing as last week, split one to money line, one to spread.
Buddy, I might even bet more than that.
I mean, I'm down for that. Like, obviously it scares me a little bit, but I think the Eagles are getting unfairly hyped after, for the most part, getting blown out by the Rams and then having kind of a crazy comeback where a lot of things had to go right for them. Tampa's
Completely
riding
undeserved win.
high, it got their awesome offensive lineman, like one of the best in the league, back. Yeah, they lost Mike Evans, who's huge, but Godwin helps make up for some of that. And Baker's on fire. I think it makes sense. It's a little scary, but worst case, 3.5 is a damn good number to take this one.
Buddy, we're putting out a unit and a half on each of these.
That's fine with me. I like that.
It's the best bet of the week. It's a triple cha-ching. It's a cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Split it right down the middle. And Birdwatcher, this is for you. Birdwatcher, I'm looking at you. I'm gonna probably say some fucking terrible things on Sunday if we don't win, and I'm gonna mean none of it. You're a good friend, and I appreciate you as a man.
Do you think this is at all tilt from last week?
No, because this is a bet we literally make every single year for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I was about to say we do love betting on Tampa Bay.
We bet on Tampa Bay almost every single week, and we always bet on them when they play the Eagles because the Eagles are always overrated, and we always win. Knock on some wood.
I did. I did. It's just not loud so that my dog doesn't lose his mind.
There's a lot of wood in this office. I got.
Ugh.
While
Knock
I'm gonna go knock on some more wood. You bring us to the Saints Bills.
many dark woods, heavy and thick makeup. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints going to play the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are minus 16.5. Should I go to the game after?
Well, hold on. Is this the first game that Spencer Rattler covers?
He might. I mean, he's completing a lot of passes. However, he's not doing anything.
I will say it again. I've said it a million times. Spencer Rattler is not that far from being a good franchise quarterback. But he is certainly not that. Like,
Yeah.
he is 6 inches to a foot on every single throw from being a really good quarterback. He is 6 inches in height away from being a good quarterback. He is 6 inches too slow to be a really good quarterback. Like, everything about him is just a little too little. He comes up just short. And I don't like using these jokes because he is taller than me, but he does literally come up short. Tyler Shuck got in a game and threw his first NFL passes last week. One was a throwaway, one was an inaccurate ball to a covered receiver in garbage time. Saints fans have already crucified him. He has been buried next to Osama bin Laden in the ocean. They have been convicted of similar crimes. Panthers, Patriots.
I was about to say, I mean, 16.5 is a crazy number, and the Bills, as we talked about last week, like, they're going to play closer games than you might expect from a team of that stature, but fuck, the Saints aren't good.
Neither the Saints nor the Bills are the droids we're looking for.
Nice. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers going to play the New England Patriots. The Patriots are minus 5.5.
Now, I haven't said these words in 4 years. Do we fucking bet on the Carolina Panthers?
I mean, that's a heck of a number. And the Patriots don't impress me. But do you really want to bet on Bryce Young?
No, I don't. Not at all. The funniest thing that's ever happened in the history of Twitter. It's a long and incredible history. Now I can't stop thinking about Tylenol. Will Campbell allowed 7 pressures last week. PFF only has him for 4. A lot of people had him for 7. Personally, I think it's about 6 or 7. He gave up a sack, and he only won 87.5% of his pass block reps. These stats got out of context, and Patriots fans were hype. Big Patriots accounts are just tweeting like, beast. Will Campbell is dominant. Because they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And they don't realize that the average starting offensive tackle has a pass block win rate of like 95%, 90%, and that 87 is in fact bad. And like the worst offensive linemen have like a 75 or 80. So Will Campbell, not good at the pass blocking, which we knew because he has tiny little T-Rex arms, which are bigger than my entire body.
How long until he's moved inside?
A year or two. Next
Mhm.
year they'll start thinking about it. Within 2 years they'll probably do it. Because it's not that he's a bad tackle, it's just that he's way better at guard.
Yeah,
Um,
he just doesn't have the body.
so this Patriots offensive line is generally like the definition of mid, and it's one of the rare times where I actually pretty much agree with what PFF says. It's like it might be the Dak line, the Mendoza line of offensive lines. Like it's fine ish. The Panthers can't rush the passer much at all. Um, I don't believe in the Panthers cornerbacks. I loved J.C. Horn. He's had so many injuries. I just don't think he can run like that anymore. But don't worry, the Patriots wide receivers might also be the inflection point of mid. Name one. I mean, you're looking at it. Find me a good receiver.
They don't have one.
Fuck. Find me a top 20 player at his position on that Patriots offense that's not Drake May.
I don't think that exists either.
Mac Hollins is a wide receiver 4. He is not supposed to be a wide receiver 2. Keishon Butte absolutely should not be a wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 3. Stephon Diggs should not be. Actually, he's a good starting slot. But that starting slot should also be your wide receiver 2 or 3, not your wide receiver 1 playing in the slot. Hunter Henry's fine. He's probably top 20 in his position.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's borderline.
Like 15 to 20.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with it.
Ramondre Stevenson drops the football on handoffs.
He's so good, but he doesn't have fingers or something.
Just imagine if instead of drafting this average left tackle, the Patriots had drafted top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, Teteroa McMillan, and then drafted, I don't know, an average tackle like Ariante Ursary in the second round, instead of getting a fucking backup running back. Again, this is what we said during the offseason. Terrible allocation of resources. You passed on an elite receiver to get a tackle. There are tons of tackles. There are very few elite receivers. You drafted a running back in the second round. Sure, Travion Henderson's a good running back, but what do we say about good running backs? They're like jumbo shrimp or nice women. They're not really that way.
Jesus Christ.
I know, right? That was like the most pathetic incel thing I could say.
That's what to say.
I was trying to think of a scandalous dig to take at some outgroup. It's what we do here. I was about to shoehorn a quote, but now I can't because I fucked myself with a terrible joke. It didn't hit, man. I was this close. I speak faster than I think of jokes sometimes, okay?
It happens to the best of us.
We can't all be zingers.
Just took a second and I was like, damn.
Yeah, it was rough. Women are nice. It's kind of their thing.
That's what to say.
I should have said like smart or good or responsible.
Stop digging.
See, now we've gone far enough into the failed joke that it is now funny again. To me, at least. Flip to the other side of the ball. Remember that time when I had an argument with a Patriots account that thought that Christian Barmore is significantly better than Jeffrey Simmons?
Yeah, that was insane.
I thought about that yesterday, and it made me smile. For the first time in his career, Harold Landry is actually being appreciated by PFF, which is strange and unusual because Harold Landry was once a really good player and is no longer, but he was never appreciated by PFF. Suddenly, he moves to Boston, where a different person grades his games, may I note, and oh, they love him. Imagine that. So, anyway, find me a player outside of Christian Gonzalez who doesn't play and therefore isn't a player, who is above.
Theoretical.
What?
I said he's only theoretical.
Yeah, he's not a player. He's a football idea. And I love him, but he is a football idea. Find me a player that does not play on the defensive line who is top 20 at his position.
Doesn't exist. On the D line, I mean, I think Barmore's in that conversation.
Barmore's top 20. You could argue Milton Williams is top 20.
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I mean, you got because there are what, like 64 starting defensive tackles?
Minimum. Depends if you want to count nose tackles, because then you get
Right.
up to like 80.
So like, I mean, top 20 is still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
means you're top 25% of starters.
I mean, they're not even cracking top 10. The 10 is like
Yeah. No.
Leonard Williams,
Otherwise,
Sexy Dexy, Jeff Simmons, Vita Vea.
this is kind of immaterial. Barmore's good. Milton Williams is fine. Harold Landry is
The eighth
seems to
best
be
edge rusher in all of football, Alex, because of his elite coverage PFF grade, which for some reason is factored in. God damn it. No, but then like the problem is, and the problem with this game is, while I'm inclined to fade the Patriots for having nothing going for them, there's not a lot of really above average players on the Panthers either.
no, I
It's
mean, like you
kind of
said.
just Tet. And if I'm betting on a team that is kind of a one man show, I'd rather bet on the team with the excellent quarterback than the excellent receiver. And then I'd rather go home and cry that they're not united like they should be. But, Mike Vrabel only takes orders from one person, and that's him. Bucket.
My ultimate feeling is I don't want to bet on this game.
I don't want to bet on this game either, although I do strongly lean Carolina because, like, when it really comes down to it, the Patriots offense just doesn't throw the ball downfield. And while they have culture all they want, hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster.
Kid.
Well, Mike Vrabel's a lot of things, but a kid is not one of them.
What do you mean? He loves acting like a child.
He's a coward and a pussy, not a child.
So
It
we're
is
gonna
it
there's
is legitimately scary to say those words about a man who's 6'5" and could eat me.
yeah, probably as it should be.
Cool guy. Nothing against him. Bad coach. Did you see the graphic that I posted the other day that the Patriots fumble more and commit more pre-snap penalties under Mike Vrabel than they did under Gerard Mayo?
That's incredible.
The culture, it exists and it's totally not a fake bullshit thing that people make up because they don't know what they're talking about and they need to pretend they do. The culture.
So slightly into the Panthers, but we're gonna keep talking about games.
Oh, do you need a line?
That would help. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders going to play the Atlanta Falcons. The Commanders are -1.
The AP News is reporting that the Commanders reconfigured their offense.
Exactly.
Uh, Utter and complete lie. Fake news. Trump was right about everything, or at least this one thing. Somewhere in between. I don't know. If Marcus Mariota's playing in this game, I really want to bet it, but I have no idea. It doesn't seem that anybody else really does either.
Yeah, I think it's too early in the week. I mean, we're not really gonna know until we get some practices in. And even then, he could not really practice and they could still put him out there to play.
Look,
Which honestly is kind of dumb if you think he's truly like your franchise quarterback.
so I mean, Dan Quinn has said Daniels will not play if he can't practice.
Yeah, like I mean the Falcons aren't a dog shit team, but like the Commanders should still feel comfortable with beating them.
I would like to challenge your assertion by stating the Falcons did get shut out by the Panthers 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I would like
Penix
look.
looked horrible.
Oh, Marcus Mariota, fifth overall quarterback in the entire NFL. I'm going to choose to believe it this time because it serves my agenda.
Beauty of PFF, man.
I think they're going to play Mariota.
I mean, and that's where I would want to wait to see.
Well, let's handicap it like they're playing Mariota and acknowledge that we just don't ever bet on Jaden Daniels. I heard a lot of, I didn't hear personally, but I was told by a friend of the podcast, RTR, shout out RTR, that certain sharps who think that my winnings on Twitter are fake believed that Daniels was worth 5 or 6 points to the spread last week. So really, the Commanders should have won by 50 if you're actually sharp and no ball though. So it's a good thing they didn't bet on the Commanders -3 because the line would have been totally off by like 47 points. Don't don't check which direction, but the math works out. Um, I it's tough to run on the Commanders. They have quietly built up a solid interior defensive line, and Bobby Wagner is a really good nose tackle who happens to play linebacker. He just doesn't move at all anymore, man. He's just right there. Uh, it's a solid defensive line. It's tougher, not tough, but like tougher to run on them. And I don't think Michael Penix can hit the broadside of a continent anymore. It used to be a barn, and then it was a city, and then it was a county. We're skipping state and country. I mean, it's just bad. And we knew it would be bad. If only somebody had told me this exact thing would happen. Again. It's like I just keep on saying, like, hey, the sun's gonna rise tomorrow, and everybody's like, never. It's not a chance. You're a fucking idiot. How could you believe the sun's gonna rise tomorrow? And then it rises, and they're like, where's that idiot who told us the sun was gonna rise? We need to go tell him he's wrong about something
He's a
else again.
witch. Burn him.
No, I would rather they think I'm a witch. Fucking I welcome the witch accusations because at least you're like acknowledging the reality that I keep being right. You could say it's dumb luck, but just say it happened, motherfucker. Uh but then I look at my $25,000 I've made watching football these last 3 weeks and I'm like, yeah, it's not good enough validation anymore. I'm greedy. I'm getting greedier. But if Jaden Daniels plays, we are not betting. If Marcus Mariota plays, and this line stays even remotely similar, like, fuck. If Jaden Daniels is ruled out and we get Mariota, this line could even go, it could flip. If we get the Commanders at -1 or better, 1 unit or two.
I mean, probably 2 on the money line because those odds are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but they're going to be better than -113.
I mean, no need to wait this out too much. If Jaden Daniels hasn't practiced by Thursday, he's not playing. And if he's not playing, we are betting on the Commanders. So, I'm going to put them in here. 2 units. Money line, we don't know the odds. Probably like +120-ish.
Yeah.
They will be a contest pick.
I don't think it'll be much above that. Probably even, if anything, a little below, but still, we're going to get plus odds.
And so, if you bet on this game and Jaden Daniels is playing and you lose and you complain to me, what am I going to say?
Oh, this isn't a setup for a Star Wars quote.
No, I'm going to say the Irish, and also you deserve to lose the bet because you didn't listen.
Fair enough. All right. So that's a conditional cha-ching. Next game.
Yeah, I'm trying to portmanteau it and I can't do it. So next game.
We have the Cleveland Browns going to play the Detroit Lions. The Lions are -9.
I can't be bothered to give a fuck about the Browns. When do we see Dylan Gabriel? It's time.
I think it's rapidly approaching from what I understand or have been hearing is that they've already been kind of like talking to Dylan Gabriel and being like, hey, get ready because you're playing soon. I don't want to bet on this game because I still don't really know what to make of Detroit. The Browns defense, I think yeah, I think it's the best in the league. Because they really nailed this draft and like I didn't think spending the 4th overall pick or 5th overall pick on a run stuffing defensive tackle was a good use of resources, but it's kind of transformed that line in that Miles Garrett he still gets double teamed all the time, but they can actually like impact the game outside of Miles. And then Miles has a slightly easier time getting after offenses. And it's made a huge difference. Plus, they finally have a linebacker. Like they had that stretch with Joke where it helped, but they still didn't have a D line, so he wasn't able to really go after people. But now they have a D line, and Schlesinger has been incredible. We know the secondary is awesome. Their defense is insane, but the offense is atrocious. I don't know what to make of Detroit. It's a big line. The Lions could win by 3 touchdowns because the Browns turn the ball over and the defense is out there for 45 minutes of game time. I think we kind of just leave this one.
Yeah, I've been looking for Star Wars quotes. I'm not going to think about this game for 2 seconds, and I'm really glad that you're back into the Browns so you can cover that for me. Um,
Reluctantly, but yeah, I'm
if
mostly
Dylan
back.
Gabriel were to start this game, do you change the line at all?
No, because it's still a rookie quarterback that I'm not like, oh, this guy's going to be great. Like he's a bridge guy or career backup in my opinion. So I don't think it really changes that much. Like, yeah, I think he'll be able to throw more accurately than Flacco has been able to, but he's also probably going to get overwhelmed by some plays that Flacco wouldn't. The offense will probably be a little bit better, but it's still just not a great offense. Like, they don't have anyone to play quarterback at a high level.
He's also a little short for a stormtrooper. Bucket.
All right, next
I,
game.
I didn't give a fuck about whether or not Dylan Gabriel's playing. I just wanted that quote. Next game.
We have the Tennessee Titans going to play the Houston Texans. The Texans are -7.
When an immovable object is presented with another immovable object, who wins the race?
It's a incredibly movable object versus a incredibly stoppable force. I don't want to bet on this game because the Texans have a bad quarterback and a good pass rush that, makes them, I think, a low scoring team that -7 is too high a number.
Absolutely.
But the Titans are atrocious. They're horribly coached. They have a bad roster. I don't think they care that much. It seems like other teams don't think they care that much. I don't know if you heard that interview with, I'm trying to think of who it was. Um, but they basically said from last week's game, they were like, yeah, they just didn't seem like they really cared. Like before the game, they were just kind of milling about. It's a pretty strong paraphrase, but that was the gist of it. And like, yeah, that fits. It's a bad team with a bad coach. Like they don't give a shit. So I can't take them in really any situation unless they're playing another horseshit team and they get like a double digit line.
I got a text from this today about big news breaking that was extremely cathartic and reassuring. Um, so I don't know what that is, but it can't be good for the Titans.
No.
Like anything that that person says is wonderful thing to hear probably involves Brian Callahan and panhandling. Uh, but I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny, like kind of whimsical how uh the Titans brought in 2 brand new starters and returned their quote unquote star center who missed half of last year. And then they added a high draft pick in Alec Iomenor at wide receiver, and they added Tyler Lockett, who's like a good veteran wide receiver 2 or 3. And they got worse in almost every conceivable way on offense. It's almost like the variable that was intended to make the project go smoother might not have actually been material. Because
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that Cam Ward sucks. And frankly, in grading his games, he has not been good. He's been like a D plus C minus quarterback, but he's also young, and I expected him to take time to adjust because he plays football in a weird fucking way.
And he played most of his career with like shitty colleges.
Yeah. So like he has room to grow and he has to adjust rapidly to a dramatic shift in the speed of the game. So I still expect that Cam Ward will be an okay quarterback. And sure, I think that Will Levis is better than that. I think that if you put Will Levis in this offense right now, it's a little better than it would be with Cam Ward. That doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is the coach, the O line, the offensive system are all terrible. And whether you have Will Levis or Cam Ward in there, it makes no difference because everything around them is so bad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Cam Ward, I agree. Like he hasn't looked great, but he's had flashes of why he went first overall, and that he's got a crazy arm. He can move around a little bit. He can make those, like the plays that teams are searching for now, of those Josh Allen, Mahomes, Herbert plays where it's just like, how did he physically do that?
Well, like,
But he's a guy that needs time and he needs some structure because he played a lot of shitty football. Like, yeah, he was in college for a long time, but it wasn't playing high level football. And now he's in the fucking NFL on a really bad team that's not helping him. Like,
yeah,
I
you can
don't
you can
expect him to
assume
do well.
you can assume that any experience Cam Ward got at Incarnate Word doesn't matter. And frankly,
Exactly.
a lot of the experience he got at Washington State isn't that helpful. And his 1 year at Miami probably didn't change a ton.
Right. Because it's
So,
still the fucking ACC. Like, they're like
well,
three good teams.
fucking ACC might be the best division in football right now.
Yeah, but I don't think that means that much. I think it's the
No,
Big Ten still, but that might be my bias.
no, I want it to be the Big Ten, even though I'm an ACC alum. Shout out ACC. Uh, do you know the best quarterback in the nation goes to Boston College? Shout out Dylan Lonergan or some other Irish bullshit I can't really say.
So you gotta brush up on your Gaelic if you're gonna be. Um.
Gay lick these nuts, as opposed to heterosexually lick these nuts.
Yeah. So not betting on that game.
Well,
Titans need to fire Callahan and hope for the best.
yeah, let's just round out this early slate by saying we're not betting, despite Jackson Dart being the starter now, we're not betting on the fucking Chargers Giants. Although,
Closing out the 12 o'clock hour, we have the Los Angeles Chargers going to play the New York Giants. The Chargers are -6.5, and Joe is having a thought.
I'm having a thought. We're not betting on the fucking. We're never laying six with the Chargers, and we're certainly not betting on Jackson Dart in his first start. Ha! I don't even think Jackson Dart's good. He's just Blake Bortles slash Sam Darnold all over again, but with sick swag. And he does like Star Wars, which makes him cool. The Force is strong with that one, so it would be a mistake to underestimate him completely, but we're going to anyway. Uh, fuck the spread. I'm looking at two bad games with touchdown spreads, and we haven't really bet a teaser this year.
Ooh,
I
you think a
forgot they
little
were there.
Texans Chargers parlay?
I mean, maybe. I don't know that I actually like the Texans.
I
Like
was about to say I would prefer to maybe do a different team than the Texans, just because the Titans are dog shit, but division game and the Texans might be in free fall.
um so far I'm in a survivor contest because I couldn't sign up for the Circa Super contest, but I could sign up for a survivor contest.
Sure.
I've just been fading the Titans every week, and I think this is going to be the first week I don't do that. The sirens have been abound in New York City today.
Yeah, they're going nuts.
I had a client meeting today for like 3 hours. It was exhausting. It was excruciatingly boring. There were 5 cop cars just doing every fucking noise that they're capable of the entire time. I was like, I kind of wanted to get up and go look at the fucking window and be like, is there just a machine gun shootout occurring on fucking 42nd Street? Um, See, I feel comfortable doxing myself because there are roughly 300 law firms on 42nd Street. and like 2 billion lawyers. Let's just keep in our brains that the Chargers are a wonderful anchor and then move on to the late slate and try to find some actual bets.
And kicking off the late slate, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going to play the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are minus 3.5.
Mac Jones revenge game.
Does
Uh,
it
I
even count?
I think that Brock Purdy might actually be playing this game. I think he might be back. It doesn't make any difference to me. I don't care at all. They're literally not different to me.
Yeah, that's very fair.
I don't know, man. Like 3.5 is a tough number to lay with either of these teams. The 49ers are not a 3-0 caliber team. The Jaguars are probably a 2-1, 3-1 caliber team. That actually feels right.
Yeah,
I love Ricky Pearsall. He's so sick.
yeah, he's been great.
Dude, all of my guys from that draft have been really great, except of course for Peyton Wilson, who was really great last year and then suddenly is booty. I think he's hurt though.
He has to be. I mean, it doesn't make sense how you go from that good to that shitty.
Like I think he was playing injured week 1 and 2, and then now he's not playing because he's too injured. So that's reassuring. Either that or he got pulled. I'm really hoping it's the first one. Anyway, Jaguars defense is pretty good, but that doesn't matter. Defense doesn't matter. You're playing Kyle Shanahan. He will score 24 points.
Yep.
Other side of the ball. Yeah, it's. I love Etienne. I kind of hate everything else.
I think the Jags are the right side because you have the number. I
Are they
think
catching? Are
that
they catching points?
yeah, aren't they getting 3.5?
I had it backwards, and I still thought the Jags might be the pick.
Yeah, they're catching 3.5 because I think, the 49ers typically have an advantage because they outclass a lot of teams coaching wise. I don't think they have that big of an advantage against Liam Cohen because I think he's done a great job. But do you really want to bet on Trevor Lawrence again? Because I think the 49ers are a better operation than the Texans are.
When
Because
I
I think the offense is easier. Like CJ Stroud has more put on his shoulders because one, they think he can handle it, and two, they don't have fucking Kyle Shanahan. The
you know
49ers
Kyle Shanahan's a different thing. It's a whole different thing from anybody.
and so it's like their offense, even though it's a shitty quarterback, they're not the offense that we're used to with them. They're still going to be able to score points, and Jacksonville's going to have to score probably, I mean, 3 touchdowns.
Two things. One, I think Kyle Shanahan's offense certainly has the highest floor in the entire NFL, like even higher than Andy Reid's. I think Andy Reid's ceiling is higher, but I think that Kyle Shanahan has the highest floor for an offense.
I agree.
Two, every time I watch Trevor Lawrence, I always, when I'm not watching him, I always feel like it's still there. So, like, backing up, going back to the draft process, that was the first draft that I really, really fucking dug into the way that I do now, right? Because it was COVID. So I was sitting there while my girlfriend was taking her final exams, and I was watching Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence tape. It was also because the Bears were thinking about drafting a quarterback, and so my friends back home were like, who should we take? You nailed Trubisky. And if you flatter me by admitting when I'm right, I'll basically do any amount of work for you. Like, I don't even need to be told I'm right when I know you think I'm not. I just need you to admit I'm right when you actually think I'm right. Um, and back then, I'm watching Trevor Lawrence, and I'm like, he's not actually good. He's okay-ish, but he's not good. And that's proven out pretty well. especially considering everybody else said he was the greatest prospect since Andrew Luck. And every time I watch him, it's as if a million voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. Because he's even worse than I thought he would be. By the way, Bucket, like I don't I don't know. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence can be competent because he's not the type of quarterback. There are certain types of quarterbacks that are bad that run a system better. They're smart, they get it, they're fairly accurate within, reachable ranges and, like throws they can physically make and they have a quick release. That's typically like the good combo that works. He's none of that. He has a strong arm. He just can't hit the barn. And he's not that smart. And his release is slow. And he makes bad decisions and he doesn't seem to fucking care. I think we have to go with the +3, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good number in what I expect to be a competitive game, and it's still Mac Jones. And even when stuff is spoon fed to him, like we saw last week, he still might throw it directly to a defender. So, I mean, I don't hate it. It's just that Trevor Lawrence scares me, and we've kind of done that high wire act with him, what, 2 or 3 times this year? And it's stressful as hell every time, even if it's mostly worked out for us.
Pure
But
maybe pile.
yeah, I'm good with that. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts going to play the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are -3.5. I know you want to.
It's a good game.
It is. It'll be a fun game.
So, two things. Daniel Jones has incredible stats lately, but his actual play has been just okay. And Matthew Stafford was really good for the first couple games and then kind of laid an egg last week. Not due to any fault of the Eagles, just he was just missing throws. The problem is that I'm trying to avoid the casual fan logic, which is like the quarterback's all that matters. The better quarterback is clearly Stafford,
Yes.
but the casual fan is probably lower on Stafford than we are.
Yeah, I think so.
I would say that the casual fan would say like our sad devotion to that ancient quarterback has not helped us to conjure up the stolen data tapes or some winning bets, nor given us clairvoyance to avoid getting 2 kicks blocked. Bucket. But I think he'll bounce back nicely just because he fucking has to. Do you think the Rams will be shell-shocked by blowing that lead last week, or do you think they'll be rededicated and angry?
I think they'll be pissed off. I mean, they had that game. It was theirs. And then they just fucking let it go. But I don't know. I mean, maybe losing to the Eagles again in a game they should have won will just demoralize them. Like, man, we're good, but we just can't get it.
Well, that's part of it too, is like they dominated so thoroughly and they should have fucking won so clearly that I could
Right.
see them coming away from that loss not angry that they blew it, but like happy that they're like, we're 2-1, our record's good, we're definitely gonna make the playoffs, and we totally should have beat the Super Bowl champions, so actually we're fine. Also, I'm completely sick and tired of PFF jacking defensive ends grades up because their coverage grade is neat. I've
Yeah.
legitimately, you couldn't give me enough money to ever give a fuck that Leatu Latu has a 94 coverage grade. His defense grade should not be 92. He's been a very mediocre pass rusher and a decent run defender. And even that I don't believe. Okay, so we don't think that the Colts will have a particularly good pass rush. Stafford should be kept fairly clean. If he's kept clean, he will dominate. That's just what he does. We have Devontae Adams going against Xavier Howard. I love that matchup. So the Rams will move the ball.
Yeah, they should. It's just what is the Phil or the Indianapolis offense like?
Well, they run the ball a lot and it works really fucking well.
But this is a tough team to run against.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I mean, we saw what they did to Saquon. Saquon got fucking stuffed last week. And the problem is you can pass on him a lot, but Alec Pierce had a concussion last week, or maybe did, or something. That doesn't matter because they're four deep with legitimately really good wide receivers. But then you have to rely on Daniel Jones, and he's just not that guy. I don't know. Do you find my lack of faith disturbing, or should we go with the Rams?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my feeling as well. Like the Rams are a better team. The Colts have been a really fun story, but like I don't know, I feel like they're still not that great of a roster, and Daniel Jones is not a savior. Like we know what he is. Sure, he might be playing better in a better situation and everything, but it's still Daniel Jones. We have the better roster, we have the better quarterback, maybe the better coach. I don't know if we still do.
Eh,
And I mean, who else have the Colts played a real team yet? I'm trying to think.
no. Broncos.
Yeah, I mean that's half a real team. It's a real defense.
Suddenly, I just got super jazzed about the Rams. That's a really good point, Alex.
Like they kicked the shit out of the Dolphins. Cool. They barely beat the Broncos, and then they kicked the shit out of the Titans. Cool. Like the
Oh, we
Rams are by far the best team they've played. And this kind of feels like the week where we go, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Now I remember. They're good and they're better than we expected, but they're still a team quarterbacked by Daniel Jones.
yeah. His sorcerer's ways do not scare us. All right, so LA -3 at -115. Why is that formatting so fucked? Oh, because that's wrong. We've
115 units.
been negative 115 units. They're going to pay us to make this bet. All right,
All
two
right, so
more in the
that's
late slate.
a cha-ching.
Oh, that's a cha-ching. We got to cha-ching it.
Minus
I don't
three.
want to take it in the contest if it's 3.5. I need 3.
Okay, deal. Cha-ching. Rams, -3. We're gonna wait. Make sure you wait till you get 3.
Yes.
And worst case, buy down with something. We'll go through our little parlay ideas later. But
You hear
next
that?
up
You
in
hear
the
that?
late slate,
They're about to start the fucking fire alarm drill.
oh no.
We'll see. Oh, there it is.
Oh no.
Let's keep potting until the noises start.
I'm down. We can pause whenever.
Yeah,
You just have to record again.
sure. Alex, read the game.
We're not recording, Joe.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, holy shit, we are. I thought you paused it. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears going to play the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are -2.5.
Another pick.
Oh, this format of that situation is throwing me all off.
Throws me off
Uh,
every time.
it's a pick 'em game.
All right, let's
Bears
get
hit
back.
slightly better odds.
Let's get locked in because the fire alarm threw us off for a second. But look, I ain't in this for the revolution, and I'm not in it for Caleb Williams, and I'm not in it for Chicago. I expect to be well paid. I'm in it for the money. I still kind of think maybe the Bears are the side.
Yeah, I mean, like
Bucket.
the Bears have concerning parts of their team. We're still not totally sure what exactly
Wait,
Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson can put together.
which parts, Alex? Wait, hold on. For dramatic effect, I'm going to click on their lineup, and the entire defense is going to be red. And if it's not, we fire PFF. We fire PFF.
And like the defense isn't good,
No, it's bad.
but I mean, the Cowboys aren't a bad team.
They're not a bad offense.
Sure. And the the Bears, sure, you can go into like how much that early fumble by the Cowboys where they were moving down the field, broke off a big run, and then somehow fumbled at the sideline. Like maybe that had a big impact on the game, and if that doesn't happen, things change around. But the Bears beat the shit out of the Cowboys last week. They look good doing it. They started implementing some of those Ben Johnson like staples of a little bit more moving around, some trickery, and the team looks like it's getting better. Now it's still a pretty young team, or young at key positions with a first-time head coach. So like there it's not all going to be linear progression that every week they're going to get better. But I don't know, I think they're a better roster than the Raiders, and they're definitely better coached.
It's also impossible to stop getting pressure on Geno Smith. I've already given this out as a Patreon pick. I like the Bears here. Hear me out. I don't think any of the receivers on the Raiders are great. I think that Trey Tucker is actually going to be a good wide receiver too when he gets in an offense that makes sense for him and like functions. I think Ashton Genty is a really good running back who just can't get started. Like every time he touches the ball, he's contacted before he even gets to the line. Offensive line's bad. Offensive play caller is super not creative. Quarterback is okay, but makes terrible decisions under pressure. Flip to the other side. I think that Ben Johnson is starting to be able to implement his full offense. The wide receivers are now 4 deep because Luther Burden, remember him? They started using him again. It's great.
Oh,
He's the ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs. He's fucking fast. And like really this entire defense aside from Max Crosby, if there's a bright center to the universe, this is the defense that's furthest from it. Like I don't see any reason for hope anywhere. Except Jamal Adams is the 7th rated linebacker in the NFL per PFF, and it's largely just because his pass rush grade is super high. So even as a linebacker, he's more of a blitzer than he is anything else. I don't know. It's not. I don't like betting on the Bears. They scare me, but I think we should continue the operation and fire when ready. Bucket.
all right, so are we locking it in?
I mean, fucking, I guess.
All right. Chicago over the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going money line because it's pick'em, and that's minus 105 odds. 1 unit bet.
Reluctant cha-ching. We got one more late slate, and then we got Sunday, and then we got a double Monday again.
Double Monday.
All the way
right.
across the sky.
To close out the late slate, We have the Baltimore Ravens going to play the Kansas City Chiefs. The Ravens are minus 2.5.
Hmm. Hmm. We're gonna go out of order with the quote bucket.
Breaking your rules. Wow.
Once upon a time, Patrick Mahomes was the best star pilot in the galaxy and a cunning warrior. He is now fucking dog shit. Bucket, and also he's just not good. It's bad. It's not like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is overrated, or like, oh, Patrick Mahomes not a great starting quarterback. It's like, are we sure Patrick Mahomes is good? I'm not.
No. I mean, he hasn't really given us much reason to think that for the last few years, but people are finally catching up to it now.
Yeah, the problem is that on the other side, Lamar Jackson's kind of a fraud too, and nobody's caught on, so we're not getting line value.
And also, like, the Ravens defense should be incredible.
He should be so good, and it's just let's pull up the PFF to look at the fucking lineup. But yeah, it's this we talked about it this summer. This is the best roster in the NFL, and they are playing like anything but that, and they know it. And I'm wondering if three straight like significantly underwhelming weeks is gonna like wake these dudes up and make them go.
I
But
think they might just be old.
look at that defensive line's grades, red and orange, and I can't say I disagree.
Yeah, I guess they're not even that old.
Yeah,
I don't
Broderick
know.
Washington, 29. Travis Jones, 26. But those are bad players and we know it. Uh, Jason Owe, 27. Wow, he's only 27? But he's not good. Never was. Mike Green, what's going on?
I don't know. They're like, how many snaps does he even have at this point?
120.
Yeah, I'm not putting too much into that yet, but that is concerning because that's really bad.
Yeah, and like okay, the 29.7 coverage grade, again, throw that the fuck out. I could never care, even a little. But the 55 passing grade, the pass rush grade, is what kind of worries me because that's shown up. He hasn't really made much progress as a pass rusher. Now, he is going against Jawan Taylor. And I know we got to finish this up really quickly because you have a game to watch. He's going against
Well,
Jawan Taylor, who's slow. That might be the move. He might be able to break out a little bit. Also, the Chiefs just can't run the ball anyway, so it doesn't matter. I think we take the Ravens simply because A, they're pissed off, they've been underperforming. B, they actually have the talent to perform. And C, I just don't believe in Patrick Mahomes at all. I think at worst, the Ravens just run the fuck out of the football, reestablish Derrick Henry, and walk out of here with a close win.
yeah, I mean, I'm concerned about it just from what we've seen from the Ravens, that things we expect them to do really well, they have not been doing really well. But I still think they're a better team that is probably even like playing better currently than the Chiefs. And it's a super actionable number. It's Sunday Night Football, or no, it's the just the late slate premiere game. It'll be fun to watch no matter what. I think we're at a good number and we like the roster more. Cha-ching,
Yeah, ching.
we're rapidly uh, accruing picks here.
Yeah, we are.
All right, on to Sunday Night Football. We have the Green Bay Packers going to play the Dallas Cowboys. The Packers are -7.
Can't bet this game, but gotta look at the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to. I'm not going to bet it either.
We're not betting this game. I
I
can't
think,
trust the Cowboys' terrible, terrible defense. And while Jordan Love is terrible, Matt LaFleur is really good, and you can run on the Cowboys, so the Packers will probably still find a way to win. It's a decent teaser leg, but I don't like the Packers, so I don't want to touch it. I
yeah, I
say,
think it's a good teaser leg just because, like, sure, the Cowboys, like, they're not terrible,
yeah,
but the Packers are playing better. The Cowboys don't have some superimposing defensive line or pass rush group that can really throw them off. And if Jordan Love chucks the ball into the air, the Cowboys don't really have anyone that I count on to be like in the right area and make
or
a
even be able
catch.
to catch up.
Yeah.
Their secondary is so slow.
So I think the Packers will still win that game. I wouldn't be shocked at all if it comes down to, like last possession or, it's a one score game, but I still expect the Packers to win. I probably like it as a teaser like more than I like the Texans, just because I at least know that the coach can manufacture some points for them.
Certainly.
And their defense should be able to stifle the Cowboys pretty well. Whereas with the Texans, like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to score.
Yep.
So I think it's a leg. Obviously, not betting on it. Want to move to Monday?
Bye bye, Carrie Underwood. Monday Night Football.
Yeah. First up on Monday Night Football, we have the New York Jets going to play the Miami Dolphins. Why is this a primetime game? The Dolphins are -3.
If I said what I truly think about this game, I'd have the death sentence on 12 systems. Fuck it. Next game. I mean, I bet the Dolphins win, but I'm not laying 3 with
Yeah,
Tua next
exactly.
game.
Closing out week 4, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going to play the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are -7.
I want to bet on the Bengals, but I don't believe in myself.
Yep, that's like off of last week with this number. The Bengals are the only side that really makes sense because I'm not betting on Bo Nix to cover a touchdown ever.
The Bengals are absolutely the right side. Uh,
But because the issue with the matchup is that the Broncos have a great defense and they have some really good corners. They're going to be able to put pressure on them and they're going to be able to stick with Jason Higgins. And that kind of like tanks the entire offense for the Bengals. Like they need that superiority on the outside for things to work. And that's like a thing that the Broncos are especially well suited to handle. So I do think the Broncos win, but I don't know, that's a big number. There's a lot of uncertainty with the Bengals right now. I think we kind of just leave it and we can because we already have a bunch of picks.
yeah, we have enough picks. Let's gather more information about Jake Browning. Let's have some patience. Although I'm sure he's gonna ball out, and we're gonna say we evacuated in our moment of triumph. Bucket, but also exactly how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I expect them to play better than they did last week because they're not going to give up as many insane points. But it's still a tough defense for a backup quarterback coming in. The morale's low.
He's not worse than Bo Nix. He got the better
Yeah.
quarterback, but it doesn't matter. It's a good defense. I think what
It's a
I
really
learned
good
about Jake
defense.
Browning last week, I think what I really learned is just that against a good, confusing, exotic defense, he gets a little bit overwhelmed and tries shit he shouldn't. And I think he's going to have to reel that back. And against Vance Joseph and his Broncos defense is not where I want him to try to learn that. And I am conscientious of the fact that we've got 10 minutes until pitch.
We have more than that. 25, but
Oh, okay. I've got 2 more quotes to hit in order to hit my 20 quote goal. And we have to do wrap up. Let us wrap up. This is basically like overtime for the quote bucket. Like the shot clock is dripping down. So right now we've got 4 contest picks, but one of them is conditional. We definitely have Seattle over Arizona. Our best bet is Tampa over Philly. We have Washington over Atlanta, but only if Mariota plays. We have the Rams over Indy. That means we need at least one plus a backup. We already have bets on Chicago over Oakland and Baltimore over KC. Which one do you like better?
I'm sorry, I was pulled away.
Chicago over Oakland or Baltimore over KC? Which one do you like better?
And that Chicago would be money line and Baltimore is minus 2.5.
Yeah,
I honestly, I think Chicago.
I do too.
I think the Ravens, Kansas City, while I like our read of the game, I think kind of these high end, like very anticipated games can get a little funky. And I could see that game going a million different ways, whereas I feel like the Bears are going to win. Like it might be ugly at points, but I feel like they're going to win that game.
I do too. I don't like the Raiders, and I think the Bears are coming into their own. What did we say before the season? By November, the Bears offense is going to be really good. It's
Yeah,
October.
no, that's a good point.
They're halfway there. So as scary as it looked, as bad as it felt, they were on their way. They are emerging, right? Like you could see the inflection point somewhere during the Lions game where the offense started to make sense. Last week it got some confidence. It looked clean. Now they're going to play the Raiders, another bad defense. I think it'll look good. So then is Baltimore over KC our backup contest pick if Mariota doesn't go?
Yeah, I think that's the play. I'm obviously I really hope Mariota goes because I like that bet a heck of a lot more than what feels a little bit like gambling, to be honest, with Baltimore and Kansas City.
Anytime you bet against Kansas City, it feels like gambling.
Yeah, just because like they can have one of those days where everything works and Mahomes is playing like a decent quarterback and then they're an Andy Reid offense with an electric quarterback and it's like, well, yeah, you're gonna have to score every time you touch the ball.
Patrick Mahomes has not had a good game in over a calendar year. And he's a quarterback that relies on his athleticism, and he's 30. It just kind of feels like it like the fall off is real.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it might just be as simple as that.
I sense something, a presence I have not felt in a long time. He's the new Aaron Rodgers. They're just going to pretend that it's not bad for the next 3 or 4 years. He might have a revitalization season. They'll hand him an MVP because they feel bad. He'll never catch Brady. Some people will say that he has anyway. All right, and then the teaser, the elegant weapon of a more civilized age. Which actually, again, how I feel about it.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
well done.
Bucket, quote, bucket satisfied. We fucking did it again. We're the best. Nobody could ever touch us.
Check it
I
out.
love the Chargers. I think that's my survivor pick. I just don't see anything to match up with it. And therefore, I'm not so inclined.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Packers win. I mean, obviously it could be a little scary. There's the whole, Michael Parsons factor to it of maybe the Cowboys. It's a revenge game for them. Um,
I
but
don't I don't want to bet a teaser where the team I'm betting on losing has the better quarterback.
yeah, I mean that's fair. Just think that the Packers have everything else going for them. But yeah, I mean, I'm not dying to make it. We got a lot of bets, and if we end up betting on Washington, we've got two best bets.
All right, so we're eliminating Jacksonville. We don't need them. We got one, two, three, four. Wait. Okay, we got 5 guaranteed bets plus Washington if Mariota goes. That's plenty. It's either 7 units or 9. That's plenty. Okay. Thursday night football bet. Rare, happy occurrence. Although I'm actually 3-0 on Thursday night football this year. I just haven't given out the pick to anybody.
Knock on your rich woods. Thank you.
Seattle over Arizona. Seattle minus 1.5. 1 unit. Cha-ching. Contest pick. Tampa over Philly. This is our big boy. 3 fucking units. If we lose this bet, we are going to have a rough week no matter what.
Yeah, we are.
But 1.5 of those units are on the field goal with the hook. The other half are on the money line at huge odds. I love this. I'm going to do this myself personally. Please, Baker, no fail me now. Although every year around week 3 to 5, I get really excited about the Buccaneers. I make a huge bet on the Buccaneers and they blow it in ridiculous, stupid fashion at the last second. So that strategic fucking consultant they hired better come through and not Bucks versus Falcons me or Bucks versus Texans me, if you recall those two games.
Bucks versus a lot of teams, to be completely honest.
Bucks versus Falcons last year, I had 20K on the Bucks, and they had the ball with a 6-point lead in field goal range with less than 2 minutes left, and they lost. That would have been huge. I like to brag that I made over $100,000 last year on football. It would have been 200 if the Bucks had just not shat their pants for fun. Washington, we're going to throw 2 units, and that's another best bet and a contest pick, but only if we get Mariota. We do not believe in Jaden Daniels. Do not believe his lies. LA over Indy, LA -3. I would love to. Ooh, do we tease the? Do we do a LA parlay? Chargers money line, Rams money line.
Ooh, what are those numbers looking like?
I bet you it's like 130.
It's not bad.
In the meantime, finish up the bets. I'll put this in. Just those last couple.
Did you finish LA?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. Also, we have the Chicago Bears over the Las Vegas Raiders. That is a money line bet, 1 unit at -105 odds. As our kind of backup, if Mariota doesn't play, then Baltimore over Kansas City -2.5, 1 unit bet, -115 odds. We'll move into our 5th slot. Either way, we're betting on it, but it's a backup for the contest, and we much prefer the Washington game if Mariota plays.
So I plugged it in. It's +110.
Ooh, for money line for Chargers Rams?
Money line on both.
Well, that's a cha-ching.
So obviously LA -3 is going to have to be the contest pick, but we'll just kind of do like this, bang, and like this.
Gorgeous.
MLP means money line parlay. And wait, how are the Chargers and the Rams playing at home? Oh, because the Chargers are not at home. Ooh, I could go to that game. Do you know how expensive tickets probably are to go see Jackson Dart in his debut get totally bewildered by Jesse Minter?
I feel like Giants fans have already given up on the season.
No, they love Jackson Dart.
Wild.
I talked to Rod. He absolutely believes. Okay, so those are our bets. I actually kind of love this card, and I'm going to go make these bets now. So Alex has got to go watch some baseball and walk the
Hell yeah.
dog. I've got to go home and make these bets and lift some weights and eat ice cream. And you've got to go bet on football games. Hasta.